Hi, everybody probably have noticed that lately world is going to hell, and I thought about the problem, and I thought how to solve it. I figured it out, and I also figured out how to prove the solution has some logic behind it by using math and stats. So today I will present you the ultimate solution to geopolitical superpowers, with math and stats included. So, but not a lot of it. Don't expect any fancy math. It's just random boring stuff. And, well, let's start, shall we? Now, first, let's discuss what is the problem. Well, problem is quite simple. The big countries with lot of power, like here you can see the United States, the Russia, and China. We generally can all agree they are problematic since they hold up power and they can do whatever they want to the neighbors and everybody's scared of them and yeah, stuff like that. But those are not the only big countries, right? For example, the Canada is big, the Brazil is big, and Australia is big. But they're not problem, are they? Well, Australia, I don't trust Australia at all. That's the one country I wouldn't trust. But I also never heard of Canadian potential invasion on Greenland. Though who knows, maybe it makes sense. Also, Iceland also, but they probably really want Iceland, they just don't have the power. And how would we stop the Canadians? And how would we stop Americans? And how would we stop the Russians, right? Especially the Russians. Well, I know the solution. Listen here. We take a knife and cut them all up in smaller countries. You're not a geopolitical superpower if you're small, right? It's simple. How people haven't figured it out. So, yeah, that's it more or less. Okay, I think I'll go in details and also prove why it makes sense. Well, it could be tricky, but then again, it's kind of where the world's going. There's always like big countries, it splits in smaller countries. Can't wait when Scotland splits from Great Britain, that would be fun to watch. Yeah, so in general, actually, I do think it's a trend for countries to split. Like, Texas hates like all their Americans, so they want to go their own way. If California would go one way, that probably would be amazing for a lot of people. So in general, I think this is a workable solution. Let's proceed. Why it's a good solution? Yeah, what is my solution and why? Well, first, as I mentioned, we split the bigger countries into smaller countries. Now then, why? Let's assume the world progress is W, and it's a sum of individual country progresses, like country 1, country 2, country 3, country N. Now, classical. I don't know, it could be 10 countries, it could be 100 countries, depends on the universe and planet. And it can also be positive and negative. For example, like country 1 is having a good year, country 2 is having a bad year, so in total they level itself out and world progresses forward or backwards, it depends. Now, let's see. Probably bigger countries will be more impact on the world progress, right? Right. And also the countries with better leadership or worse leadership might have bigger impact, right? Makes sense? Anybody disagree? I don't hear any disagreement. Okay. So let's assume the country progress depends on its size, on how well who is the leadership and how well are they doing. So in general, we could summarize it as the country result is country size times leadership result. Yeah, and in general, the leadership results will be a bit random, like essentially. The country size will generally be the same. Okay, the water takes a bit of this land mass every year. There might be some conflict, some splitting, some joining. So the country size might change a bit, but in general, let's assume it's constant. But the results of leadership will be like random. That's a political joke, yes. Okay, so let's go further in the details about country performance. So let's assume that countries that X belongs to some. Let's say it like this. There are several types of leadership. Let's call one John. Another would be trash. Then there could be better, but it's okay. Then there's average like government. Then there is my best pal Megistus, and then there's also me, who would be the greatest leader ever. That's my assumption. So they each generally will have their own distribution of performance. For example, I would generally always like have almost ideal results. Okay, maybe sometimes not so good, but in general I would tend to better results. Then John would be complete garbage, worse than trash, and his country more or less shouldn't even exist. And the average would be what we have now, so generally garbage, and could be better. But also, could be better, but okay, it's also kind of very close to average. But I wanted to split them. And performance can be from -10 to 5. Like in general, you can probably fuck up way worse than you can progress. That's my opinion. Like nuclear war. So nuclear war would be. I don't know how good the country be to the positive side to much nuclear war. So let's say average tends to be also a bit above zero. Let's say people tend to progress. If it was zero, we would be standing still, but I would assume that people are better than that and we're moving forward. Now, yeah, so let's assume that trash could be better, but okay, an average kind of are like generally they have some average or where they're performing and that's it. But let's say extremes like John and me are tend to be like very good or very bad, and we also tend to have like these results way more likely. So let's say that did I wrote here? No. Yeah, so let's say the probability that government's results will be very close to average is like 95% each year. And then it might deviate a bit, and there's like a 1% chance that there will be nuclear war, so every 100 years. So I just also drew potential how the distributions could look like. For normal, it's like mostly in the middle, somewhere let's say around 1, and a bit to the good side, a bit to the bad side, but almost never perfect. Performance was never complete garbage. Now for John, he might perform some years very very well, and some years very very bad. Yeah, I don't like this guy. By the way, no, I will not do this the Hitler joke. Yeah. So definitely John isn't placeholder for Adolf. Okay. So, uh, how would the country count go into this? Because I said we should split them, right? Right. Now, let's assume we have three countries. I'll call them A, B, C. Where one government behaves like John, then there's trash, and then there's average government. And they have different sizes, and John had great year. He's like no figure out how to whip up everybody to this frenzy that do working the factories, like creating weapons and everything for their people conquest of no trash country. So let's assume that the John has the biggest country. So and he had amazing year. His performance was 9. So the trash country had quite bad year, and they're quite small. And the average country is almost half of the world, but bits less, and they more or less did nothing the whole year. So in total, the world progressed to 4.25 metrics measure, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's say that's not bad, right, John? Thank you, John. Great job. So, but let's see what happens in this scenario. Let's say he built all his weapons and then invaded the other two countries and screwed up. Now, what happens? Yep, the whole world went to shit. Like even though for others nothing much changed. Like they had a lot of friendly fire or something, so complete utter garbage. Like accidentally nuked their own city or something. Like the nuke flew out and then went down. Yeah, let's say that's what happened. So the whole world like literally went to garbage. So from it was from 4.25 it went to -5. Like it's bad. Now does not look good, right? Not good at all. But let's see if we increase the country count by splitting the Jones country. Yeah, let's split it in 10 countries, and let's assume their leaders are average. And John is part of one of those countries. So in that bad year, the world only regressed a bit. So minus 0.75. That's huge improvement from the catastrophe we saw previously. Yeah, so it's not the greatest year, but it's not the end of the world. So we proved. So yeah, we just added 10 countries and suddenly the results get way better. Now, conclusion. Think about the law of large numbers. Since if we will keep increasing the number of countries, we will get result closer to our average. And since I assume the countries on average progress, the world on average progress. Yep, so we will be avoiding extremes. So more countries are better, since I basically the biggest extreme was the ending of the world with minus 10, while a good performance was 5, so we better would avoid the bad stuff. Yeah, we'll remove the very good years and the good, like, we'll lose the potential of the great leader for a great country, but we removed option that we will have somebody completely ruining everything. So yeah, we'll slowly progress, but we'll not have end of the world. Yep, more or less, we'll trade off with a good progress for not destroying everything. So, conclusion, we cut out all the countries to the smaller countries. Now, you will think, but that's not so simple, there will be problems. And also, like, how big should the countries be? Right? That would be probably the first question. How big? When do we stop? Now, and okay, you will have a lot of countries, people never can agree, there will be definitely conflicts. And you know, in the school, I had to memorize, I know how it's for other people, but I had to memorize every single country. So, and their capital at some point in geography. And now I literally don't remember 60% of them? Yeah, especially, I could remember many countries, but capitals, unless it's Europe, and also even in Europe. Now, age screws your memory. So as you get older, you can tell your geography teacher, when I will be 28, I will not need those countries. Actually, you can probably go to 23. I don't remember needing most countries and capitals at the age of 23. Actually, on the next grade after that, I didn't even know. Okay, whatever, forget it. I'm sidetracking. And also, shipping could be a nightmare. Like, imagine all the custom rules, taxes, the planes flying over different countries. It's nightmare. And also, they might have different laws, which also could be nightmare for people who are not versed in legal. But it would be gold mine for probably lawyers. Like, each country might need to need the lawyers. They will need to communicate with each other. That you might need to represent even another country. It's insane. So it's not that simple. But I do think it's better than the ending of the world, right? Or the global wars. Yep. Okay. So, but how big should those countries be? Right. Right. So, let's see. First, let's go with landmass, including nearby waters. And also, let's base it just on landmass, not population, since it's not, like, population will change. That's not where people can move, and it might screw our assumptions. So let's just go with the landmass. Now, first idea would be, let's split everybody to the smallest country. Well, there's Vatican, which is like really, really, really small. So we would end up with an insane number of countries. So actually, that would probably cut it out from needing to learn in geography, but it would be ridiculous. So actually, that would be like a couple of people per country. Okay, in general, it would be like 300 million countries, since it's like half a square kilometer big. So that option is out. So let's abandon the option of being all countries equal size, and let's just put max cap. If you are above this level, you need to split. So that will be how we'll do it. And I just opened the list of countries by size, and around 100, I noticed there's like this beautiful line after South Korea, where Hungary is under 100,000, and South Korea is above 100,000, so yeah, let's go with 100,000. If you're above 100,000 square kilometers, you must be split up. So, well, I welcome all 171 countries which come out from Russia. Okay, so that will be our rules for country size. Now, let's see. Yeah, any questions? No. Yeah, this solves country size issue. You just cut the big countries with this general rule. Also, calculations are very easy. You just remove a couple of zeros and round it up. So, yep, easy. Now, what about conflicts? Let's say nobody has any nukes, but essentially it's a bit of game theory. So let's say nobody has any nukes, but one country makes a bunch of nukes. What happens next? If it does not use it, it gains nothing, so it's a waste of resources, right? Well, you could say it's defensive, but yeah, if nobody has it and you can just use it, everybody intimidate, it probably will not be just defensive. So basically, if it uses, it can do ask other countries to do its will, so its performance will increase. So generally, it should probably use it, like at least intimidate other countries with it. If it doesn't want to use it, it can intimidate them, right? Right. And they could do nothing about it. So, but if other countries would have nukes, that intimidation wouldn't be so efficient. So the conclusion. Yep, we give nukes to everybody, because then nobody can intimidate, because, oh no, what if they nuke us? But what if they nuke us first? And nobody would want to nuke anybody. So it's the same logic that America uses with guns. Okay, there is gun violence and people die and some don't know how to use it. But what's the other option? Somebody terrorizing everybody? Actually, they probably could gang up if they didn't have that many nukes. But yeah, that's not it. But in general, my proposal is everybody gets a nuke. And I do mean everybody. Kim gets a nuke. Yep, he finally gets it. Sorry, the rules are rules. We can't exclude anybody. Russia gets a nuke. Kim gets a nuke. Ukraine gets a nuke. America gets a nuke. Who else could get a nuke? Zimbabwe. Yeah, you can take a nuke. Even you, Brazil. You get your nukes. Okay, so this should solve the whole problem. Nobody has the nukes. What's the worst thing that could happen, right? Right? Well, probably two countries could nuke each other, but it's not the whole world nuking each other. That's the whole point of this presentation, and me wasting your time. Now, let's go and summarize what we discussed today. First, we split larger countries in smaller countries for more consistent results. We lose extreme results like very good years and very bad, an atomic war, but it's a price I think we could be willing to pay. Now, and how do we solve conflicts? We make everybody dangerous and hope nothing bad happens, like terrorists taking over small countries and not caring about consequences and just attacking everybody. Like, how likely is some zealots taking over a country, right? Yeah, in general they would not have results to... Still should not have resources. There's tea missing here. Disgusting. I should scrap this presentation and do video again, but I will not do that. So yeah, in general, even if there's some crazy, they will probably not have research to destroy the world anyway. I should have calculated the total number of countries. Oh, I remember, I didn't do it. It's not that straightforward, actually. Okay, now, thank you for sticking with me, seeing my ultimate solution to geopolitical superpowers. I hope the America, Russia, China, Canada, Australia listens to this and agrees with me and starts splitting up. You can like the video if you want. I'm not forcing you. I don't have nuke yet. Also, this was one-off. I don't really think I'll do more political videos. It's just an actual topic and it kind of annoys me. Like, literally, it really annoys me. People are just going mad and I'm frustrated with it. I see everybody, basically, on every single scale, there's somebody doing something stupid in regards to current situation in the world. But I do promise I will do more shitposting videos. So, if you're fine with watching this garbage video, you can also subscribe. Have a nice day.